sing a song of love, Julie, Julia. Seashell eyes, windy smile, calls me, so I sing a song of love, Julia. Her hair, her floating sky is shimmering, glimmering in the sun. Julia.
Hey everyone, welcome to MT Guitar. Today we're going to be learning how to play Julia by the Beatles, a song that appeared on the White Album, although it's officially just called the Beatles. It later got the name the White Album because it was all white, and in fact the Beatles were just embossed in white, so from a distance you wouldn't even see the words the Beatles, it's just white. This was an album famously after their India trip where they studied Transcendental Meditation with the Maharishi in Rishikesh. And this was an interesting time because it's sort of a return to their folk rock roots, sort of their acoustic rock roots as well, more of a rock and roll sound on this album compared with the psychedelic stuff from Sgt. Pepper and Magical Mystery Tour. So change in direction more to their acoustic sound. A lot of solo writing on this album, John writing by himself. And so this song turns out to be the only unaccompanied John Lennon song where there's just him, there's no harmonies from the other Beatles or instrumentation. It's just acoustic guitar and vocals, both doubled. And so you get this really intimate sound. Julia was the name of John Lennon's mother. Very tragic occurrence in which she passed away after being struck by a vehicle when John was just a teenager. And so he says in an interview he lost his mother twice, once when he was 5 when his parents separated, and he was later raised by his Aunt Mimi, and then secondly when she passed, as they were just sort of getting their relationship back on track. They would listen to Elvis Presley records. She would teach John the banjo and gave him his first guitar. And so he credits her for helping him with his music. This song was written, like I said, in India, but John was learning about Travis picking from Donovan. Donovan went on this trip with the Beatles, huge fan of Donovan, and so he was an influence on them there. And he was also really good friends with George afterwards as well. So anyway, John was looking at this Travis picking technique, and so we have this rare unaccompanied guitar piece from John. One thing about the music that's very, very interesting, I find, is as he goes to E minor and G chords, his thumb doesn't start with the bass like most typical guitar parts would on an E minor chord, for instance. So here we have the normal thing would be 6, 4, 5, 4, for instance, or just 6, 4 back and forth, 6th and 4th strings, I should say. John is just doing 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, no matter what the chord. So even if it's a chord with a 6th string bass, he's starting with the 5th string. And that it seems like a small detail, but it actually makes it a bit challenging because I can't recall many songs or any songs really that does that. So very interesting there. And just beautiful and gorgeous chord progressions here, chords that are outside of the key. John was a masterful songwriter. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? But going here to the minor 5 to a G minor 9, very nice. An A, which is a 6 chord major. Here is a 4 chord major, it's an F9, to an F minor 9, or not minor 9, but F minor 7. So that's a 4 chord minor. So if you know your Roman numerals, there's a lot of chords outside of the key of C there. Of course, it's concert D with the capo, but we think of it as transposed to C here. So I'll go over this note for note, nice and slow. Highly recommend learning this tune with me here. I'll also be tabbing this out on the Patreon, and got a few tabs coming up from previous lessons very soon. So go ahead and head on over there to patreon.com/mtguitar and see if there's something there you might like. Hundreds of lessons there. We also have group lessons on the first Saturday of the month. And we're going to zoom on in and learn this song. Okay, so the good news is that the thumb will never change. meaning no matter what the chord is, it's just 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th over and over again. And well, I guess now that I say that, the fingers never change either. But I always like to start with the thumb because, of course, the thumb sort of roots us in the quarter note groove for a Travis picking part. So Donovan, who sort of was teaching John the Travis picking technique, Donovan was very connected with the folk sort of style of playing, or still is. And so, Bob Dylan is somebody who had a lot of Travis picking in his parts as well. Countless players. So why don't we just warm up on that? We're going to play a C. So we're going to go 5th, 4th, and then you're going to bring your ring finger down to C over G for 6th, 4th. Sometimes I will admit that I just kind of I don't move the ring finger, and I simply sort of angle it down. I'm almost barring both strings, but I think the more typical approach is simply to lift your finger and move it down. Okay? And even as we go to the A minor chord, A minor 7 here, we're going to continue that 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th. So go ahead and warm up on that thumb. And again, the C is with the pinky. Okay, this pinky will be a theme throughout on the 3rd fret, 1st string. So now we're going to do the part with the fingers. So we're going to do 1st string. And in Travis picking, you're either with the thumb or in between the thumbs is a good way to look at it. That would be the upbeats, right? The thumb is the downbeat. So downbeat on the 1st string, then you do the thumb. Then 3rd string on the upbeat, and then 2nd string on the upbeat. So it's like, all right, so slow, a little quicker. Actually, this song is quite slow, so you don't really want to go too fast anyway. See that? All right, now that pattern will exist throughout the whole song. A minor 7 is the next chord. We just get to switch and keep your pinky there. All right. Then E minor 7 is next. Now, interestingly enough, we stay on the 5th string, 4th, 6th, 4th. Do that twice. So repeat, same pattern. Okay, so we pretty much learned the right hand part. All right, let's play that first phrase. 3.
Half of what I say is meaningless.
E minor again. Second time we go to G. So here we go. E minor. Now G. 4-finger G. Okay, that kind of G. All right, so that's your first 2 phrases. These chords will continue to change, so let's buckle up here for these chord changes that are quite beautiful. Julia, C to A minor 7. Now we go to G minor, Julia, and then you lift that. So here's G minor bar chord, right? Same right hand pattern. So I'm just gonna forego speaking of the right hand pattern. It's the same throughout. But now we put the pinky on the 5th fret for a G minor 9. Okay? So it'll kind of work your bar chord skills because it's kind of hard to press down on all the strings, but good strength building. There's your G minor 9. All right, 3, 5, 3, 3, 3, 5. Now an A. Just a regular old A major bar chord. Doesn't have to be fast yet if you're still getting the pattern down. Now a very interesting chord here. This is an F9. Although we usually don't play it quite like this, but here would be 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3. And just one go of that, right? And then we go to F minor 7, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 4. You lift the middle finger and move the pinky over to the 4th fret. So it would end up being like this. Boom. That is one of the harder parts of the song because it's hard to hold down all that chord there with your index. So then it's C, A minor, and we do the turnaround, which is that E minor to G. So why don't we run that entire chorus right there, okay? So 3. I'll call out the chords. A minor 7, E minor 7, or just E minor, I'm sorry. Now, repeat, C, A minor 7, E minor, G, here's the C again, A minor 7, here's the G minor 9, here's the A. I'll slow down a little bit. Now F9, F minor 7, C, here's our turnaround, A minor 7, E minor, G, and that's one go through. Then he repeats everything. C, A minor 7, straight to the G minor. So we don't do that intro phrase. We'll just run it again for practice. Here's A, F9, F minor 7. Back to the turnaround. This is what he... Okay. Then hang out on the C. 4, 2 run-throughs. Now the bridge. All right, John Lennon, an amazing bridge writer. Well, they called them middle eights. Fun fact, back then they were considered to be a middle eight. That's 8 for 8 bars. Here's a B minor. Okay, same pattern, of course, but the B minor twice. C with the pinky twice. Now A minor 7 goes to an A minor 6, so we move that pinky to 2nd fret. And then, very interesting part here. This is an E minor 7, so we're going to go O, 2, 2, O, 3. Okay, there is one part I forgot that where the right hand pattern is a little different. We're not going to the 1st string ever. It's just 2nd string instead of 1st string. So you're going to do 5th and 2nd, and everything else is the same. Okay, so here's E minor 7, O, 2, 2, O, 3. Once. Then he goes to E minor 6, goes to 2nd fret. E minor flat 6, a rarely seen chord. You go to 1st fret. Sort of a James Bond type chord. Now E minor regular, lift that index finger. And then it's done. Then it's back to Julia. So let's practice that bridge from the B minor. 3. The hair is floating. C twice. A minor 7, A minor 6, E minor 7, E minor 6, sorry, E minor flat 6, E minor, and here's the chorus. Right, and we're back to this part. So then it's just another chorus run through, and so that's it. So the bridge would be sort of right there in between the, after the 2 verses, and then you go for the 3rd verse. Although really the verse is just a chorus as well. So it's depending on how you think of it, verse or chorus. That's it. Then we have another chorus, and then Julia. Okay. So I'll tell about the exact form on the Patreon as well. Try that. It's a really good Travis picking workout as well, but it's not too quick. So it can be played by pretty much any level. The bar chords are difficult, but the actual right hand pattern is not so bad. Enjoy. We'll see you next lesson. Thanks, everyone. Bye.